So, very excited today. Got a buddy of mine, part of my tribe. I talk about guys that I'm friends with and different professions and walks of life and stuff. He goes by Top Ramen. Obviously, you see all the food out here today. He's a big food critic in Arizona. He's very up and becoming. It's the only channel I follow in Arizona. You know, you never trust a skinny chef. This guy knows food like nobody's business when it comes to food, drinks, coffee, everything. Welcome aboard, buddy. You know, what's what?
Hell yeah, man. Hey, thanks for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
I'm very honored. I'm very honored to be here with you, man. And yeah, Top Ramen is my channel. It's at Top Ramen, TOPRAHMUN, on Instagram, on TikTok. And so, yeah, I love showcasing all the Arizona food stuff, chefs, like you said, coffee places, doesn't matter, just incredible food around Arizona. And thanks for following me and checking this out, man. I'm honored to be here to kick it with you.
Absolutely. Honored to have you. Why don't you talk a little bit about yourself, like your background and stuff, like where you come from? You were born and raised in Arizona.
Yeah.
So you know what I noticed about a lot of these channels? A lot of these channels, like the people who come from other states.
Yeah.
They'll start a food channel. They're really not a native from Arizona. You were born and raised there, right?
Yep, exactly. So born and raised in Arizona. So my dad immigrated here from Burma, Myanmar. And so it's in Southeast Asia. So he immigrated here with his 13 brothers and sisters many years ago, back in the 60s. And they came straight to Arizona. And he met my mom. My mom is from Michigan originally. So I'm half Burmese, half Caucasian. And so, but I grew up very, Burmese, we're just in our household, our culture. And my dad had a lot of success coming to this country. And he would take us to restaurants growing up. And he knew all the restaurant owners. And so I grew up in this culture of my pops having some success with businesses out here and then going to just restaurants, and he would shake hands with the owner, know the owner. And so now fast forward, a million years later, here I am. And I was doing Google reviews, and my wife was like, hey, babe, you should just do the regular foodie stuff, like post stuff. So I started last June 2025, and now here I am. I've built like 17,000 followers, and it's really cool. It's growing and stuff.
That's growing fast.
Yeah, it's growing. But I do pride myself on being like an Arizona native that talks about Arizona food culture. Because you're right, a lot of people come here from other places, and then they want to, do the foodie stuff. So I do pride myself on that.
Yeah, you should, because a lot of the channels, like I said, I'll peruse everybody, and I'm like, well, what do you know about, let's say, like a place like Ramonelli's? That's where the food's from today. I talk about this deli before on the podcast because I'm a huge fan of it. Family owned and operated around, since 79. And you get somebody that comes from out of state, they talk about Ramonelli's, but you get a native from Arizona talking about it, he's in the know.
Yeah. Yeah, but, definitely, man.
Yeah, what we got today, we're going to go into a little food coma today.
Okay, I like it.
We call that food coma, but I figured we get some sandwiches. We got some hot and cold meatball palm, chicken palm. We got some Italian stallions. They call it the Georgia special. We got some pastries, some fiadelos, some lobster tails, rainbow cookies, pinoli cookies, Napoleons, things that I would, grew up on, all the food and stuff. And then I went for a Manhattan special, because you always get Manhattan specials.
Yeah.
But when they add a Manhattan special, the next best thing is a Yoo-hoo.
Okay.
Haven't seen these.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you had these before, right?
Yeah, I've had Yoo-hoo. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big thing in the East Coast. Like, if either you had a Manhattan special or Yoo-hoo.
It's crazy. It's crazy seeing this. It's my mother-in-law's favorite drink.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got some coffee here. You want some coffee?
Yeah, that'd be great, man. Thank you.
Got some French press.
Let's do it. Look at that. Nice and hot.
Yeah.
Boom.
I got a new cup today. My daughters, they keep giving me cups. World's #1 dad.
Hell yeah, let's go.
That's what I pride myself with.
I love that. Family man. The only thing I'm not feeling about this coffee is this thing says Chicago on it, man. Fuck those guys.
Well, we got people from Chicago that are on part of the
I'm kidding.
Part of the team here.
I'm kidding.
It's coming from the peanut gallery.
That's good coffee.
Yeah, nice.
I'm kidding. Actually, I actually love Chicago. I've never been or visited, but Michael Jordan, man, one of my favorite sports icons of all time, man.
They always try to compare him and LeBron, but
it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's Jordan is Jordan.
Yeah, it's an insult. It's an insult to sports to try to compare Jordan to LeBron.
So I thought it would be good idea is to, let's say, when we get into the food, I'll talk about places that I grew up on back east, that you might have heard of.
Yeah.
And some stories with it.
Yeah, sounds
Maybe
good.
you got some questions for me because, I know you always talk about food and, questions and stuff that you're curious about New York.
100%.
I like your hat, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. I had to rock the Yankees, man. I'm not coming in here with anything else,
Yeah, and you get a Chicago coffee cup.
I had to
right?
represent. Yankee hat, Chicago coffee cup, man. That's how it works.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I think we should start digging in over
Yeah.
here. What is our illustrious staff there? He's got this thing up. You see, around this place, you got to be careful what you say because stuff will pop up behind my head.
Yeah.
Just like this. That's how fast they are.
I love it.
Just give me a high sign whether you want hot or cold or you want a little bit of both. I got the high sign. So now you give me another high sign between meatball palm or chicken palm. One or the other. All right. That's what we'll do here. Grab half of this. I'll go half of that.
It's perfect.
There's that. You want to grab that? There you go, buddy. Yeah, dig in, man.
Oh, man. Look at this.
We got a lot of eating to do here. I'm sure everybody can see the heroes. You know something like in the comments section. The internet's an interesting place. What they'll do? They'll start ragging on me, going, "Oh, what the f***? We didn't tune into. We want to hear about mob stuff. We don't want to hear about food." And I said, "Well, what's this? The Food Network?" And I said, "Yeah, it's the Italian Food Network."
Yeah, but I mean, family is food. Food is family. So
food is symbolic.
Yeah, I think that's the origins of like some of your storytelling is like the family and the stories that you have from back in the day. I think food is a very core element to it.
You ever see when you're looking for like a napkin and then there's only like toilet paper around? Before you know you're
rolling up,
spinning the whole roll.
100%. I've done that before.
I just put the whole roll of paper towels up here.
100%, man.
I figure why with napkins.
So something like Romanelli's, what does this remind you of back in the day? Is there a shop like Romanelli's back home?
Parisi's.
Parisi's
okay. Bakery all the way.
That's the spot?
Yeah. I say Parisi's Bakery, and I grew up with a couple of Parisi's, very good people, and a bakery that's been around for decades. Matter of fact, my uncle was James E. Parisi. He was the son of the founders of the Parisi Bakery, and he married my Aunt Mary, and a Parisi. Should be.
Oh, there it is.
It was still in Romanelli's there. But Parisi Bakery, he used to roll the dough himself and bake the bread, So it was all fresh baked bread, and then they made sandwiches. My next choice would be Fontanelli's. I don't know if it's still there, but it used to be on the corner of Grand and Mulberry. So those were the two hero spots. And we didn't call them sandwiches, we called them heroes.
That's the big thing I noticed. Heroes or, what's the other one? Grinders?
We didn't call them grinders either.
Just heroes. Okay, interesting.
I think grinders like a Chicago thing, right?
Oh, yeah, might be. Well, hey, we got the Chicago mug over here. It works out perfect. All right, so Parisi's. Any history with Parisi's beyond the food? Anything that from your stories that tie back to Parisi's?
No, Parisi's, they were mainly legitimate people. My uncle was head of a union, a big union in the city. Really good guy, tough guy, not a gangster, but he didn't take no shit. He was a big, scrappy guy. His son, his kids, he raised his whole family, his grandkids in Jersey. Good people. Good Italian, hardworking people. Like I said, from the bakery, then he went to the head of a union. Helped a lot of people with jobs and, very generous guy. No organized crime affiliation. The only affiliation they had was being related to us. But no, they're all legitimate. Even till today, I don't talk to any of them, but you hear things. You see things on social media and stuff. You see everybody's out there. All good kids. He raised them right.
Nice. That's good to hear. Now, when you think of some of these restaurants and you see, and I know a lot of the bullshit that you see out there is like movies. That's really all people have, which is why I think so many people gravitate to stuff like this because you're telling the real deal. Now, how did it work in terms of these restaurants, didn't they need protection? Didn't they need somebody there from one of the families to either protect them or help them out or somehow, some ways? Is that a true thing?
That's a very good question. A lot of people think that, say, oh, the mob took advantage of their own people. In some cases, that happened a lot, which is unfortunate. Like they would go and shake down a place and, but for the most part, I think places were claimed by different families.
Mm.
So one restaurant was, let's say, a Genovese restaurant. Another restaurant was maybe a pizzeria was Lucchese. Another joint was Gambino. But it was known that, they put claim on it. And usually, they would shake down. They never shake down Parisi's, though. Not that I know of. They left them alone. Because if everybody knows, the old timers, they get a lot of respect. You get a lady comes in there and she opens up a bakery. They respect that. They're going to leave her alone. They're not going to take advantage of her.
But wasn't there a thing too where other crews or other folks would try to come in and the protection was against the other crews? Was that kind of a thing where it was like they protect this bakery, like you said, it was per family. So because like the other families couldn't go to the one that was for the other family, right? Like you couldn't go in there, could you?
You could go in there and patronize the place, but you're right. You can't do anything with them without going through the other family they're with.
Interesting.
In my neighborhood, let's say Ray's Pizza. Ralph Como was a made guy with us, Rafi. So everybody knew the guy who owned the place was a made guy. Anybody that wanted to go do anything with the staff or the workers or anything like that, they had to go through Rafi. Any other family wanted to go in and put claim, they just know better. There's that mutual respect that, hey, the place is with so-and-so. Most of the times the gangsters, a lot of made guys own the restaurants and the cafes in the neighborhood, or their relatives did.
Now, is that the same Ray's that's out here? There's a Ray's out here. Is that the same one?
Yeah, I tell you, what a disappointment. I said, Rafi's got to be rolling in his grave, because I knew Rafi really well. And I grew up on that pizza. I don't think they call it, what do they call it today? They just focused on the squares. You had the square Sicilians. People call it squares. We call it Sicilian pie, which are the squares, right? The guy, I guess, what I had heard was he bought out the pizzeria, and he's doing a good job because he rolled out I think there's 15 or 20 of them across the United States.
And that was one of them.
They just put one in Tempe.
Okay, so that was the original Ray's. It's born from that.
From that, yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, what you see there today.
But they don't even have those types of pies there. They just have the regular slices at the one in Scottsdale. Do they do this?
No. Okay, now Ray's, there's an Albanian family that owns the.
Okay, so it's different.
That owns the Ray's. The one that opened up in Tempe that's really connected to the original Ray is called Prince Street Pizza.
So that's really connected to the
Prince Street.
OG, Prince Street. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I honestly thought Prince Street was just a kitschy little marketing thing.
What they're talking about is Prince Street between Mulberry and Elizabeth. There it is. That was like my second home.
No shit. I have a little more respect for that Prince Street thing now. I had no idea.
Yep, that's the history.
Wow.
So the guy that owned it, he owned the building too at one time. We would hang out. I would always hang out in the pizzeria or in the restaurant. He built the restaurant right next door to it. All the old school classic dishes. His nephew Anthony, good kid, used to be the cook. Really family owned and operated. He was in a big pizza war with the guy who was claiming to be there was a fight over who was going to be original Ray. So it was a guy going around using Ray's, and then he's saying, no, I'm the original Ray because I opened first. I don't know whatever happened with it, but he passed away. And then I guess what happened was the family sold off the building, and this guy that owns this Prince Street Pizza, I don't know who he is, he went and bought the pizzeria and focused on the squares that I called Sicilian pie, you know, growing up. That's how we refer to it,
Okay.
He rolled out Prince Street Pizza. Now I think I don't know if you pull it up, Prince Street Pizza, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 20 locations.
Yeah, they're growing.
So when I went down to Tempe, right, I pull up, I walk in. It's surreal because you're looking at, a whole different concept today that you grew up in the pizzeria.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it, you're saying, wow, look how this thing evolved, right?
Oh, wow. Look at that.
But man, I got to tell you the truth. It wasn't good.
Yeah. No good.
It was like, I guess they're so busy because of the story I'm telling you and because of the history behind it. It's so busy that what they're doing is they par-bake the bread. You ever see that?
Yeah, I saw them doing that in there. Yeah, I did.
Am I right?
Yeah.
They'll par-bake the bread, and then they'll throw the sauce and the cheese on it when you order it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the is that?
Yeah.
It's like a tourist thing, right?
Yeah.
When you went into Ray's, he made it from scratch. Nothing was par-baked. They rolled it out. They tell you, hey, it'd be about 20 minutes. But a lot of places do that today. They don't, even the Ray's, the Albanian place was very good on Frank Lloyd Wright over there.
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
Oh, they par-bake it?
Par-bake it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day, in your time, did you see anybody take down a restaurant for the money? Any stories of that where they, like from Goodfellas, where they burned down the restaurant to get the money?
Yeah. We used to call it insurance job. It was more popular back then because there wasn't the forensics they have today. Understand?
So you could get away with it.
Yeah. It's like when I firebombed the place. I firebombed a salon. There was nobody in it, I waited till it was closed, but they were trying to compete with my sister that had a salon. I threw a Molotov to the place and firebombed it. I think if that was done today, they would have caught me.
Because the fingerprints?
Whatever they do, like fingerprints, DNA, forensics, whatever the hell it is, the cameras alone. In the middle of the street. You can't walk up to a storefront today and do that.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere.
Cameras everywhere.
Give you an example. Back then, there was a lot of insurance things taking place, but nothing that really stood out to me. There'd be a place here, place there. A guy would try to collect the insurance money. But mainly got away with it because of that.
Now, it's funny you say that with the cameras and the DNA. Could the mob like it was in its heyday exist today? Like how it was with all the modern technology? Or is it just too impossible now? Because you can't get away with anything, it seems like, anymore.
I got a saying that a lot of people tell me I should make up a T-shirt and sell it. Murder took a holiday.
Murder took a holiday. Wow.
The mob ain't the mob no more. I don't know how you call yourself a mob if you can't enforce it with violence.
Yeah.
Today with the cameras and everything, I think the last official mob murder was done maybe, 20 years ago.
Really? 05.
I'm talking about a real mob murder like in the street.
Yeah. Now
they could still do things quietly.
Right.
Call a guy in and bury him somewhere. But then even then, a lot of guys, they'll cooperate. They'll talk about who did it, where the body is and stuff like that. Before you know it, everybody gets arrested. So no, they're not killing like they were before. So it's a mere shadow of itself. Really? Still living off the nostalgia and the reputation from the from the past.
From the past. You fuck around and playing with the wrong pistol. My shit got a broken safety. Flow sumo, this ain't a game Uno. Shout out to my Usos, killing bills like Uma. Balls travel from Pluto, big truck soprano. Gabagool and prosciutto, kicking ill like judo. Judge and jury like Judy. Hoes think they knew me, flows flow through me. Nike gray hoodie, contemplating money. Bees swarming like honey, watch your lil' homie filter through the phonies. Shout out to Tony, white girls with the yayo, pistol with the potato, departing suckers like Leo, getting dough like Philo, ops end up like Greedo, always roll solo, prime rib with the vino, flow Jurassic like Dino, game long as DeVito, AZ always sunny, but ain't shit really funny.